She's my sunshine in the rain, my Tylenol when I'm in pain, yeah. Let me tell you what she means to me. Like a tall glass of lemonade.
What's up, HR Squad? Another day, another video. All right, so we are talking about the quarantine. So first, let's discuss finances. We got a question from one of our viewers asking, can we discuss finances if we share joint accounts and things like that?
Right.
So we can tell y'all without giving y'all our business, you know? My finances before I got into a relationship, I was single for a few months, and I was working. I had my own apartment, and I was working. I got paid every week, and I was paying my rent and my bills with it. That's my finances before I got a relationship.
My finances before I got into a relationship, I was somehow still supported by my family. At the same time, I had a job, and I was still going to school. I had a roommate in a 2-bedroom apartment, and just paying my rent, eat my food, buy my sneakers. That was me before heaven.
Okay, so then we got into a relationship, and our finances was still a part, of course, because we was just dating each other,
right.
And we were both independent for the most part. You know, like I wasn't getting help, she wasn't getting help, and then she actually helped me when we first met. And she was doing way better than me. Feel me? But then she moved in. We got together, and basically I don't know. I feel like there's before and after marriage. Before marriage, it's the same. It's been the same before and after marriage.
Yeah, I think it's got a little better. I didn't have a lot of responsibilities and priorities.
Yeah, when we got together, our rent was half of what it is now.
Right.
And we always had, I had my own, I think I had like Android, and she harassed me to get an iPhone. And then so I'm on her Sprint and things like that. But here's what I can say. Rita always kept a consistent job throughout our relationship. Always. She always went from one, if it wasn't one consistent job for years, she went from one right into another one, and it was consistent. So the job she has now, she's had over 5 years, and the one before that, it was a while, and before that, it was a while. So she's always kept a steady check since I've met her, which is great. Me, on the other hand,
not cutthroat.
I have worked since I was 15. I gotta say that. I've worked since I was 15, and I always kept a job as well. As I got older, my health declined, and my anemia got worse, and it always affected my job. So every time I would get my cycle, my cycle would always be, my cramps would always be so bad that I had to call out, or I would had to leave early. Sometimes I have fainted. I have fainted at jobs. I have passed out. My health just declined over the years. So I always worked consistently until my relationship before this one is when I didn't work as much. And I was actually being taken care of by my ex-girlfriend. But I always insisted on working still. Like once I would feel better, I'm like, okay, gotta work. Because I would always lose a job because of my health. So when I met her, I was working, and I pressed a girl at the current job I had when we met, and I got fired.
So Brooklyn and you came out.
I pressed her because she was trying to talk crazy, and I got fired. This is like a month into I still was paying rent and bills, whatever, and I told her immediately. I said, listen,
I was with you when you lost your job.
Yeah, because I was like, they told me to come in, or they told me to leave or meet somebody at the corporate or something. It was something crazy. So I was like, I sat her down when we got back to my house, and I said, listen, I just lost my job. It's going to be difficult for me. It's going to be difficult weeks, few months, trying to pay my rent and my bills with the lost job. You can go now. We just met. This is not your responsibility. You do not have to take on whatever, or you don't have to witness nothing. And she was like, I'm not going nowhere. We had only been talking for like a month.
Right.
But I knew that it could be difficult.
Right.
And again, she was doing better than me financially. So that has been our dynamic since we met. Like, I feel like she's always picked up the slack when I fell short because of whatever issue. Then comes 2015, I discovered a tip-based job. And it was seasonal. And that's when shit hit the fan. I made more money than I've ever seen in my life.
She made more than me.
Yes, and everybody else I know. And it was, again, tip-based, so it was cash, and it was flowing in. And that's when, of course, I was able to do for her things she's been doing for me. And that was when we was able to do the wedding, plan the wedding, pay for the wedding, pay for the dresses, suit, and shoes.
I got it, baby. Sorry, we got a dog.
And her ball fell under the couch. Yeah, so I did that for the season, and I was like, okay, never letting this go. I actually did that particular job for 2 years. Then I got full of myself because I was like, well, I don't need to be here during the summer because it's slow. I'll be back the winter. I was told that I could be back, and then I ended up not being back. I never wanted a job. I never seeked another position after that.
Right.
Because why would I? It was easy. It was smart working instead of hard working. So that's how we balanced each other out. That lasts till now. We've been on that cycle till now. The summer will be slower for me because even when I do work in the summer, it's never going to be how much I make during cold seasons.
Right.
And we have learned, so it was a struggle at first because it was like, okay, well, I went from this much to this much, or, we was doing this to this, to now years have passed and I've continued to find jobs in that same tip-based position, just all over, like just all different types of jobs. Right. I'm thankful that I live in a city where those positions thrive amongst those seasons, and we always are doing great.
It's like we do more when she's working than when she's not, because it's like we have to.
There's a lot more money to spread around.
We just like focus on the basic survival needs like rent, food, bills here and there. Fun and leisure is just sprinkled like, when there's like a little more than we expected left over. So. And
I do work during spring and summer. It's just always annoying because I'm always dealing with more, and the money is never as much as I make during the cold seasons. So in the cold seasons, the job is like I'm secluded, and I got my own, and I can wear what I want, I can do what I want. I don't have no manager on my throat. I'm not working with a bunch of people, so I can like be on my phone.
Yeah, and I get it, because I think we're in two different fields. Also, like I don't deal with the stuff regular people deal. Basically, I'm not my own boss per se, but sort of kind of I am. Like, I call her multiple times during the day. A lot of jobs you're not even allowed on your cell phone. It's like my job is I go in and I do the same thing over and over throughout the weeks, months, years, whatever. So I don't deal with customers. I don't interact with them. Barely they'll call me to come interact with a customer. I'll be like, oh, y'all go through this every day. So I do understand the frustration.
And I think I'm a certain type of person where I don't
tolerate disrespect.
And I always work in a very high end. Like, my resume is very good.
Right.
I've always worked for top corporations. I've always worked for top corporations and did very well in those positions. So I feel like I always deal with a certain type of clientele, and they're very high end, they're very demanding, and they're very bougie. In your face. And I'm usually the only black girl or one of the only black girls, so it's always like this type of energy that I get, and then the hairstyles I wear, I always feel like I get some type of remark, or it's always some type of disrespect that I deal with, and I don't have a high tolerance for it. I'm quick to be like, peace out. I don't have the let me stick it through because I gotta pay rent. I don't have that. I'd rather be homeless. And that sounds crazy as hell to a lot of people, but I'd rather be homeless than deal with disrespect. So I'm quick to quit a job, leave a job that I feel like I'm either being disrespected or I'm being talked down to, or it's like crazy energy. Like every job I've left is either I'm about to fight somebody disrespected me, somebody talked to me crazy, somebody was racist, somebody was sexist, somebody was just rude. Like I always dealt with a lot before I was like, I can't physically do this anymore. And especially when I have a strong desire to do my own business, like I don't know. So so my tolerance have gotten higher because I'm like, damn, when I leave a position, I put that pressure on my wife, you know, and it's not fair and I don't like it. So I tend to deal with more to, you know, to be fair in our house. Gratefully, she's been moving up in the ladder at her job. So she's been getting more money, she's been getting higher positions. Like she's thriving in her job. Always. Like, it's sick how much she she got this position where she doesn't, you know, she can wear what she wants. She's away from customers. She's in a position of authority.
Mind you, when she met me, I was working at McDonald's, making I think like $7-8 an hour, to the point that you remember when you told me I should do a resume and I put sneakerhead in the resume.
Yeah, and I was like
I didn't really know the things that I knew today. Like she always tweaked my resume, made it better. I didn't know what a CV letter was. I didn't know.
Professional resume tweaker. I have done everybody's resume.
I didn't know, you know, when you shake someone's hand, it's got to be a firm, up and down, look them in the eye. Or interview skills, you know what I'm saying? When you eat at a restaurant, the fork, you know what I'm saying? Like very human etiquette. I didn't have that. Coming from where I had, there's no etiquette. You say good morning, you eat with your hands, you know what I'm saying? You do tolerate disrespect. Coming from what the man is always in control. So coming here and she was like, hey, it's not supposed to be do. It was also challenging. I think that's why I've tolerated disrespect, but I still stayed in this job because it wasn't that serious. Just like, it wasn't that serious. It's not normal. You know, I thought it was normal, but it wasn't normal.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's
and I don't really think you deal with, I've never really seen you complain.
Nah.
She is black and gay. That is a plus for the position she's in.
Right.
You know, that's a great thing. She's condemned for it. Me, I feel like I'm always, it's a certain energy when you are in a real high-end hotel or real high-end restaurant or something like that, or nightclub or whatever it is, and you hear constant racist remarks or ignorant remarks. She don't really get that on a day-to-day basis. So I always say she's blessed to have the job she got, and I think sometimes I feel like I have a love-hate relationship with her job because I feel like her job comes before me sometimes. But I am happy and I'm glad that she's doing something that she loves, and you know, she makes great money, and you know, I'm happy. I'm jealous.
And I had to find out a way for it to work for me and also balance my relationship at home. Even though she says you're so domestic, you're not very vocal in the relationship. I feel like we just pick off each other's strengths and weakness.
We've learned.
Right, we've learned
we
that.
Definitely learned. It was a struggle.
Yeah, it's okay, and it's okay. I think some people are not okay with the roles they play in their relationship. She knows I'm the better cook. I know she's the better planner. And she's just like LeBron said, like she's really like the engine of this household. I'm just like the one with the knife in front of like the soldiers ready to go to war. Yeah. You know, when I bring the meat, she dissects it, cooks it, puts it in the right Tupperware. Like, you know what I'm saying? So
yeah, we've learned. We get questions about our relationship and our marriage and how we make it work.
As you can see, she's more vocal than me. With me, it's 2 words and that's it. You get it, you don't. Okay, figure it out.
All of these things that we're saying,
it took years.
It has caused us huge arguments.
Right.
It has caused us like frustration. You know, of course, she got in her moments where she's like, yo, she's always sick and she can't work at this time, and this is the pressure I feel. And I have had moments where, why the fuck am I always sick? Or let me do something to help. Like we've been in tough spots, you know, and I think that I've always tried to be 50-50, and so has she. And we just, even with communication, like, you're not talking as much as me, and she's like, you're talking too much. 7 years, and we figured out a way that works for us. You know, we figured out our strengths and we play on them.
Right.
And like, gratefully, I have found other outlets that have made an income for me to make up on times where I'm not doing my seasonal tip-based job,
right.
as well as when I do work my seasonal tip-based job, I have managed my money way better.
Right.
That we are not feeling anything.
Right.
And it took us time. Right. What, baby?
Yeah, we want to talk about how you've made an income knowing that your seasonal job has taken a halt.
Yeah, so because I've always been in this struggle, like, oh God, you know, I'm rich for 6 months and I'm not for 6 months. Where can I figure out a way to balance them out? So I have a business called Mrs. and Mrs. and I've always attempted to have an income with it, but never wanted to feel as though I was exploiting the brand.
Right.
Sorry, we're trying to make light work because as you see, the sun is setting.
Right.
With that being said, I have learned to do things. I've always did events with Mrs. and Mrs., but
Should I tell me that, right?
you could, baby, if you want. But planning the events, the income that will come from the events would also you turn on every light. Would also be the expense for the event. So the money that I make from the events for Mrs. and Mrs., it goes right back into the event space and the food and everything else.
Right.
So that's how that works. So I never really was like pocketing that money. Until recently, I figured out another outlet thanks to Alex Wolf. She is the creator of Boss Babe, and I'm like a huge follower of her ideas and her way of thinking, and she created Creative Business School, and it helped me. So I created ebooks. Always been an idea of mine, but I was like, listen, me and her, we really pushed through a lot of hard times, and we figured out things to do and ways to make our relationship work for us.
So we've used our life experiences to write. I mean, she's used our life experiences to write these books.
Yes, write these ebooks. So during the cold season, and I was influxing this, making my money and working day to day and doubles and triples and stuff like that, I was writing the ebooks, like just off my head, what we do to make our relationship work. So I made a premarital ebook, I made an intimacy ebook, and I made a 2020 vision relationship ebook. I currently have 3 ebooks now on the Mrs. and Mrs. Digital online store. I will link them below, and they are to help you get through issues. Yes, we have had financial issues, we have had communication issues, we have had all types of issues, and we got through them. Me and you now in 2020, right now in March, we are in a great space. We figured out a way to balance all things. We're working on it every day, but we have
a lot of deep conversations has happened during this quarantine, whereby I'm off work, I'm tired, like 5 minutes I'm over the conversations. Like we've spent nights up, like we don't even go to bed till like 3-4 in the morning, wake up like 2 the next day.
That's been our schedule.
We're eating breakfast at 2-3 o'clock in the morning, in the afternoon. So it's like deep conversations. We've watched stuff. We bonded. We've really bonded. She's eating all the good meals. So it's worked for us.
Yeah, it has. And I think
have you got any good feedback from the books?
Yeah, great feedback from the books. Everyone,
I wish there was a place somewhere people could write their reviews and stuff.
I know. I think I need to make that happen. I have been trying to get people to email me their reviews, and they have, but I feel like I need to have more. I am grateful that people are purchasing and they are supporting Mrs. and Mrs. Again, when you support a small business, you always supporting like a family. So I always love that people, support Mrs. and Mrs. and in return are getting knowledge and wisdom and tools, because I put in assignments and things like that.
I mean, it's not easy. It took us years for
us to,
trust me. If any normal human being would have given up, but also there's no perfect human being out there. You get into a new relationship, you gotta go through this cycle over and over again. So just staying with that same person and just breaking all walls, that's how we've been able to last for 7 years, which people find it interesting. Like, how do you guys do it? How do you guys do it? But it's just,
we work through it. We don't get over it. We don't skate over it. We work through it, and for it to benefit us both. Also, don't allow anyone to dictate your marriage, your relationship.
Right.
People can be like, oh, how does she allow her to do this, and how does she let her do that, and how do that work for us? Your relationship is going to work for your relationship the way you the way you see fit.
Right.
And that goes the same way for us. No one is being played here. And the same goes for your relationship. Like, we could be like, oh, how, like, there could be one that stays home and one that works. We cannot judge someone. We can't judge a relationship that's like, oh, well, how does their stay home this and that works for them.
Right.
Do you understand?
Right.
Y'all don't know what conversations they had. Y'all don't know who handles what. Y'all don't know if the person is working. That's
and a lot of partners have, you know, they've stayed back to let the other partner just soar because of a kid, maybe an injury, just like you said, health issues.
Yeah.
So we don't know conversation that's being had. All you just see is what is being shown.
So don't compare.
Right.
It's great to get advice from other couples and see how they're doing it, but do not compare.
Right.
We are very involved in each other's accounts. Somebody asked if we share each other's accounts. We are married. We have filed tax jointly. Like, we are, yes, we do a lot of money switch swapping and all that other stuff, and PayPal and Cash App and everything else. We don't hide our accounts from each other. It's all the same. We've decided that we will pay for certain things, certain times. Like our money comes in different, and according to that is how we pay our rent and bills. And it works for us.
It works for us.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Hey.
So now, if y'all see us going 17 trips during December and only to the beach in June, now you know why. I'm joking, but
yeah, but it's gonna change this time around.
Yeah, boy.
We're gonna have a good summer. 2020, we're gonna corona the fuck out.
Not corona the fuck out.
We're gonna be out.
Yes, but yeah, people wanted to know about our finances. And not our business, but how we do manage our finances. And we do a lot of sitting down, a lot of listing, a lot of budgeting. We have a budget app. And all our subscription plans, our phone bill, cable, rent, everything. Yeah. That's how we do it.
So do it.
That's how we do it.
Hey.
The Achampong way.
Gang. Hey, Bruni. Yeah, so.
But I'm hungry now. Let's go get something to eat.
Okay. What time is it? She about to go on live.
We about to do a Mr. and Mrs. IG Live. All right. That's about it. This is a long video. This is a lot of talking.
Subscribe.
Like. Comment. Share. It's whatever you want.
Hey.
Follow Mrs. and Mrs.
Yeah.
All right, baby. Bye.